No one in America has to get vaccines. Know your rights. The Constitution. Let me just go really quickly through this. The Fourth Amendment bars the government from unreasonable search and seizure of any individual or of any private property. See, they can't take control of you. You say, "Oh, I know this has to do with search and seizure." No, but they don't have a right to go ahead and seize you, arrest you, force you to do something. And I'm going to go through a few of these things. The Ninth Amendment states that listing specific rights in the Constitution does not mean that people do not have other rights. Just because something's not in the Constitution doesn't mean that you don't have other rights than just the Constitution that have not been spelled out. The Tenth Amendment says that federal government only has these powers delegated to it in the Constitution. If it isn't listed, it belongs to the state or the people. Now you've got to understand something. Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. You've got to understand, we are the people, not the politicians. All right. You need to understand something. Just because something's not in the Constitution doesn't mean you don't have a right. Some of the basic rights are life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. The infringement upon these rights that are inalienable, given to us by God, inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. For someone to seize you, to take you, to force you, to have a vaccine. Listen, people, vaccination is not covered. It cannot be. It is unreasonable. It defies liberty. It is, in truth, you may be uneducated, you can't understand. It is a totalitarian regime. It is despots. It is not the Constitution of freedom, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To force people to have vaccines is unconstitutional. Do you understand that? If you're an American citizen, you do not have to listen to that. It's a crock of bull. First Amendment, protests as a part of it. Speak up, speak out. They're talking about vaccinating everybody in America, wanting to do that. You better be careful. You have a right to disagree with your government because it is a government. Don't listen to the liberal media. That these dead shall have not died in vain. That this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish under the earth. You are the people. We are the people. They're trying to divide us. They don't have a right to break into your house. They don't have a right to take you and say, you got to take a vaccine. They don't have and everything, just because something's not in the Constitution, as the Constitution says, doesn't mean that you don't have that right. These are rights that are inalienable, that they are based on that you have intrinsic value. You have rights. And some of those rights are life, liberty. How do you define liberty? Somebody getting forced a vaccine, that is not liberty. And the pursuit of happiness. I'm not happy for people to shoot stuff into my body.